I've always wondered to myself, those people who decide to take their lives when it gets too much, the feeling that they have that actually drives them to the edge and makes them want to do that, is it the same feeling for everybody, or is it just the level of tolerance for that person? The reason why I ask this question is because, man, I've been going through it since 2010 to 2026 now. That's been 16 years. I've thought about it many times. Tried once. Looking back at it, I'm not going to go into the details, but if I was actually going to really do it, that wasn't going to be the best way because I was also afraid. The feelings that I've had that have made me even circle around it, if someone else was to have those thoughts and experiences, would they also be able to stick through it like I have, or would it have tackled many people? Because I've known 3 people actually, who have taken their lives. I actually went to go visit one of the people, his grave. And as I'm just standing there looking at his headstone, I'm thinking, what was that one thought, or what was that thought process that finally took you over the edge? The reason why I say this is because sometimes when I'm circling these thoughts, I get so frightened. Yes, because I'm pretty open about it with the people closest to me. Sometimes when it gets deep, I always tell them that this is how I'm feeling. I'm wanting to just cut the cord. I'm done. And they help me and support me, and they tell me it's going to be okay. There's always hope, or a combination of these sayings. And it helps, right, to kind of make me take a step back from the ledge. But what really frightens me is, what if one day no one's words of encouragement, no one's support, or any of that hope, beyond my best efforts to keep myself safe, what if they fail? Because you kind of go through cycles. In the beginning, it's a comfort to be able to say, through all this hardship that I'm suffering, this inability for my brain to think straight and to find joy in anything, if I end it, it almost gives you a kind of comfort. But then as you think about it more and more, you start to say to yourself, are you actually tough enough? Or do you have that mental strength to actually do it? And then you start to feel that trap. I'm just stuck in this until I eventually die. Because we're all going to die, right? But then you don't have a say in it because you don't have the balls to do it. And then you evolve past that stage to a place where I don't like those dark thoughts that I've had before. I don't like those feelings. I don't want to explore those feelings beyond my best efforts again. But then you're like, it's probably going to be out of your control. Something will come and take your arms, and then you start to go through the sequence of things that you cannot stop. There was a time when I was drinking. I don't drink anymore. I came really close multiple times when I was drunk because I was out of control. And when I woke up the following morning, I'm sober. It's gone through my system. Sure, I'm feeling hungover, but I'm back in control. And I'm not afraid anymore that it's going to take me to the edge. But then what scares me is, what happens when you are sober? There's nothing affecting your judgment, but then you still lose control. This is the question I ask myself when I look at different images of people who have taken their lives. There was this documentary that was made, I think in 2006, called The Bridge. It was quite controversial. A filmmaker had his camera set up by the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco, and he would just monitor people walking up and down. Some of the people ended up backing away. Some of the people were saved by bystanders. And then a lot of the people actually took that leap and ended their life. And I watch as the people are walking up and down. What is going on in their minds? What is the pain that they are experiencing at that moment? Have I experienced that level of pain? The wild thing is that we'll never know, right? You never know what someone else's experience is. You don't know how stimulated they are by the pain that is constantly digging into their brain. You just know yours. And you can kind of gauge your own limits. As this stands right now, and I'm recording this, I'm going to keep on pushing forward trying to find those little spaces of hope and encouragement for myself. And this is also kind of a meditation for myself and an encouragement for myself making these videos, because I know how taxing it is on other people to hear that life is not giving you anything anymore and you'd much rather not be in it. It could be tiring for the most supportive of friends and family to constantly hear that you would just much rather not be here, because at that point it also shines a light for them on the reality of what's going on, because some people may not even know. By the time someone actually comes and says to you in your face, this is how they feel, it's bad. And oftentimes you feel very powerless to be able to do anything about it. I want to fight and I want to survive and I want to work at making my life better, because there are stories out there as well of people who have come from the edge and didn't take that final step over, because it's so final. As far as we know as human beings, once you take that step, it's done. And I want to try and pull every last drip. It's like wringing a towel. I want to wring every last drop of hope. If you're listening to this and you feel yourself approaching that cliff, I actually don't know what to say to you, except nothing will matter. Nothing I say, nothing anyone will say, your loved ones, any therapist, psychiatrist, psychologist, nothing that they say, no words of encouragement will be able to help you once you pass that. So try and squeeze out as much as you can. It's almost like challenging this demon that is trying to take you. Challenge it right to the end, because you have the rest of eternity to say that you lost. But in this finite time, you can give it as much of a hard time as possible to take you down.